So a few days ago, my horses injured themselves on a trailer. One of them got a big cut on her leg and the other just a little scratch on his back leg. They are both fine now and healed quite fast. My mum will be demonstrating how to clean and bandage this injury. Here is the wound we will be cleaning and dressing. So you need to start by cleaning the wound with a water-diluted iodine solution and using a very clean sponge. Gently but firmly wipe or dab the cuts until they are clean. If you have a difficult horse or they won't stop picking their leg up or moving around, I recommend squeezing the sponge and chucking the squeezed out water straight onto the wound, as this kind of flushes it instead of fighting with the horse trying to touch its leg. Now pat the cuts dry with a clean towel or rag. You can let the cuts air dry for a few minutes afterwards as well if you feel necessary. Next, apply some antibacterial cream generously and directly onto the wound. This is to help with the healing process mainly, but also gives the wound some protection from the bandaging. So before wrapping the leg, you will need some sort of padding to give the wound some protection from the bandages. You can get sterile pads or veterinary dressing from the saddlery warehouse. This is what we used. So with the pad, I am able to stick it to a bit of the adhesive bandage I had cut off from the roll to quickly get it in place on the leg. This will be different for other horses because my horse sometimes decides to be uncooperative and continuously wave her leg around or pick it up, or she might be in pain. So then, with the rest of the bandaging, wrap around the pad a couple times to make sure it is fully covered. We used round makeup pads to cover whatever the pad didn't before going over the top of the wound with the bandage. I would recommend going around the leg 3 to 4 times to make sure everything is covered and well protected. This may use a whole roll of bandage, which is fine. So back to padding. Sterile pads or veterinary dressing are ideal as it helps to draw out any fluid from the wound. We had to improvise and use a pad. This works just fine, except it does not draw out any fluid. This is okay, it just makes the wound a bit wet and gooey from the cream and fluids the following day. If you are using a pad, make sure to clean the wound well the next day with the iodine solution before reapplying any cream or bandages.
Yep, keep going down. I'll go around the same place twice.
Do not wrap the leg too tightly, as this can put too much pressure on the wound or cut off the blood flow. It shouldn't be too loose either. You should be able to get 2 fingers under both ends of the bandage. Here are the products we used. These are products found at home, so it is pretty cheap for this process.